Ladies and gentlemen, it's with a deep heart we come to you this week and bring you this news that none of us honestly were ready for. We here at Perfectly Misfit, we don't prepare for anything. We roll with the punches, as they say, and unfortunately, Dan is sick like a bitch. He's not feeling well. He's feeling a little sicky poo. He's feeling a little under the weathers. So, no Dan this week. Um, but I know those of you who really like this show are going to appreciate who the fuck we have on this week. On that note, welcome to another episode of Perfectly Misfit. With your boy, Rene Encarnacion, the master blaster of Denver. I try to run shit even though I really can't. And this week we've got a crowd favorite. We have somebody who spans generations. He spans platforms. The man keeps it more kayfabe than any babe I fucking know. Corey fucking Castle.
I was really wondering where you were going with the kayfabe thing. But then
Hey,
having it rhyme with babe was
come on.
a work of genius.
Come on.
It was Chef
Who else? Who else would appreciate the kayfabe babe joke? And besides anybody but you.
I loved this spans generations one.
Generations. This dude, Corey Castle, that name just rings true through the atmosphere, through the demisphere, through the ecosphere.
I would just really like to have cool, new, different ways for Renee to give me the best kind of intros I can get and just go on the road with recordings of that.
Considering
Considering
you've been our first guest ever, just it's we only have illustrious guests on this fucking show. And the fact that you were our first, just it sets the standard. You know what I mean? Like you're up here. Look at that. I'm fighting right at the border of that the edge of the screen. You're right up there.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm very honored and humbled to be considered at such high esteem from people who I hold on high pedestals myself as
nothing but illustrious
respectable men that you and Dan are as misfit as you'd like to claim.
Yeah. So for those of you who might be new, for those of you who need to be reminded, here at Perfectly Misfit, we don't have an agenda. We just want to talk shit. We want to catch up. We want to fucking vent. Those are the big three things. But then the other big three things or four things. We talk about food. We talk about podcasts. We talk about movies and TV shows we have consumed over the past week, because those are things that a lot of people in our little circle consume. So it's very easy for us to do every week. We appreciate those of you guys who tune in every fucking week. This week is a little bit of a change up, because we did have a big plan as far as reviewing Zach Amico's Shakespeare shitstorm, or Trauma Films Shakespeare shitstorm, which was we acquired a copy of that movie through a method we're not allowed to disclose. But that being said, we did watch that movie, or at least I did. I mean, Dan was supposed to, but he's sicky. Dan is sick. It sucks. We miss him. We fucking love him. Oh, there's a comment. Hold on a second. Corey fucking oh yeah, I I think she called it before. Yeah, she called it before. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I missed that. Sorry, I missed it when it was live. Stephanie is our biggest fucking fan, and we love
Perfect.
having
I
her
dig it. I dig
watch
it.
it watch us every week. And also it's also probably good that we're not going to do the movie this week because Stephanie was supposed to watch it with me, and there's a complication with scheduling and shit like that. But either way, Corey is a perfect fit for our show. This dude consumes media. He is a TikToker. He is somebody who is right on there with us. Like he works.
A content creator.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Really?
But I mean, Pinky. Whoa, we're doing triple pinkies out now. When is that? Hold on. Let me see if I can do it.
That
Let me
was
see if I
4
can do that.
pinkies. It was 4 pinkies. You see, it was 4
Oh,
pinkies.
all right, catch up, folks. Folks, catch up with us, okay? We're doing 4 pinky gang. 4 pinky gang. Dude, can I up it? I think I can do 5.
Oh shoot. That's
Was that a
fit.
sixer? That was a
It's
sixer. Hold on. Oh,
if for anybody who's
going
not
7. Going 7.
consuming this through a video platform, they're really missing out on the real tea play that we're having right now. We're having a little party, a little tea party time.
I am sure that's going to go on OnlyFans within the next week. Someone's
Oh
going
yeah,
to like,
it's
whoa.
a 6 pinkier. That sounds like an OnlyFans
I was
category.
going to say, I did 7. Did you catch that? I did 7.
No, I missed it.
Hold on.
Oh man, that's too many pinkies, man.
We are as dumb as it gets on this fucking show. I swear to fucking God.
Never promised you I was anything but.
And this is why, again, we have Corey Castle on from the first fucking guest episode to fucking today to step in as the guest host.
Can I just give a shout out to my former self and be like, whoa, yo, thanks for helping me out. This is the message from the future.
Shout it out because I gotta let the dog out.
Thanks for being the guy who really blazed the trail for guests to be on Perfectly Misfit, and for being dudes who consume content as well as create content. Only ones like you and I can relate to each other when it comes to this sort of thing. But the fun thing about it is you were pointing out your fan Stephanie, who really supports it. See, there we go. It was over.
I think I was supposed to say, how fucking fancy do you need to be, Renee? I'm pretty sure that's a voice to text because my name is spelled out literally on the show. And it says of fucking. Good job, Steph. We love you.
But as I was saying, you have your number one fan, Stephanie, who catches every episode and really supports you guys and is really important. I feel like that's what I've got in you guys for my show that I put out. So it's really rad to have people who I admire and respect and enjoy their opinions on shit have positive opinions about me. Yes, me. Validate me.
Me. I'm not a sociopath at all. Nothing is about me at all.
My ego's totally in.
And by the way, so everybody says hi. This is Lobo, el cane Estrada, puertorriqueño. Lobo, ¿cómo estáis? I'm good. I was taking a nap and I heard you doing your show, so I can come hi. Say hi, how are you? Okay, all right, Lobo. Good job. Go lay down. All right.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. I
don't know if you know that reference, but have you been watching Dudesy or no? Dudesy is Will Sasso's new podcast.
You guys told me about it last time I was on here, and I was like, "Sounds awesome! I'll check it out." Let me give a message to my former self from the past. Here's a message from the future. Listen to them when they tell you to check out that show so that
Nice.
you'll understand this reference
And you'd
about
still don't.
the nickname that he's given the dog.
That's cool.
have to remind myself, hey, former self, bring a notebook with you.
So you're gonna remind yourself to remind yourself now, so
Yeah.
that way next time we have you on, this is not a fucking issue again.
Remember the trash can. That's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I was gonna say, good reference, nice, solid fucking reference, bro. Anyway,
Dude, speaking of that, I was just watching the Carlin documentary. I was about to ask you if you were watching it, if you watched
well,
it
oh
yet.
yeah, well, let's get into that. After this, let's do podcast
Yes,
first, since I kind of
do that.
already started with the podcast. Corey Castle, as well as that, since you are a podcaster, why don't you go ahead and plug your shit? Because not for nothing, Evolving with Corey Castle is one of the few shows that I have to pick and choose when I want to listen to your show, because you're such a ray of sunshine, it's almost obnoxious.
It makes it make you sick sometimes.
Yeah, I really don't mean that in a bad way. Like
It's
I'm just unfortunately a very bitter kind of New Yorker person, and I really have to. You are you are my NPR.
so
Like I won't listen to NPR because their fucking voices are just it's
they feel boring to me.
yes, very boring. It
Mhm.
but it also almost always feels like they're talking down to you. Like,
Okay.
oh, so welcome to this episode of You Should Be a Better Person and You
Yeah,
Suck at Life. And
it's very canned. It's
I
very
am I am I
manufactured.
am your host, Morgan Fairchild, and I have never had any privilege in my life whatsoever, even though I went to Harvard and my parents paid for all of it. I mean, like it's just you are the complete opposite of that. You are straightforward, positivity, honesty, like, hey, let's self-reflect, let's find the core root of this fucking problem. And I hate you for it. I hate you
Corid
for it.
Castle.
You're the core castle of your problem. Um,
I
um,
I would encourage you if that's a genuine concern of yours, I would encourage you to be more careful about how you speak to yourself.
Absolutely. And again, this is Corey just being his prime. This is Corey being himself. Corey being like, hey, man, just so you know, what you're saying right now isn't the fucking best thing you could say about yourself. And you could be saying so much fucking better.
Well, I mean, why would you reserve yourself to saying you hate somebody who's trying to inspire you to be better?
Well,
That makes
because if
that
you,
makes
well, yeah, but if you know me well enough, if you watch this show well enough, I tell people I hate them all the time. But I mean it in a way, in a term of
no,
endearment.
I get
It's
it.
like,
Yeah, I
fuck
get
you. I hate you for being so awesome. You're a you're a fucking gem, Corey. Plug your shit.
Uh, so I can't really say much more than what you've already said. But if something I'll constantly say, and I'm going to say it right now on the record in our conversation that we're having, how grateful I am that you were willing to spend the effort on getting me to come and join you, and and how much attention that anyone has really paid to me, spending that currency of attention on me has been rad. So if you get anything of value out of the conversation that I'm having here on this podcast, check out other shows that I've done. My podcast is on YouTube, youtube.com/Corey Castle. Corey Castle spelled as if it's right here on the screen. C
With
O
the
R
K.
Y CORYKASTLE. And come join me. I recently just had Andrew Bernarski on my podcast,
Okay.
and he famously played like Leatherface in the last two Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. He was
Like the newest one, the
yeah,
fucking the Netflix one.
the Jessica Biel one. No, not the
Oh,
new Netflix one. The
oh,
one
okay. I was gonna say
like
because that one was
2003,
actually pretty. Did you watch that one? That one was
I
pretty
I
fucking.
I watched parts of it. It was
Oh,
just it was too CGI to me. I
it
mean,
was very CGI, but I mean, and it was also very like aimed towards the millennials. But like, I really
mhm.
appreciated the fuck out of that. That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking good.
they had some rad kills on that
Yeah,
for a horror fan.
yeah,
Those were
yeah.
some innovative ways to kill
Dude.
kids with these.
Especially all right, since we're getting into, I think we've already covered this movie on the show, but either way, like, for the anybody watching who hasn't seen it, like, it's very much this Texas Chainsaw is very much focused towards the new generation of kids, like very like social media, fucking like kids like literally oblivious to things going around them because they're so focused on their fucking phones and shit like that, or like thinking like it's a flash mob kind of thing. I'm I held back and I didn't give any spoilers right there, but like it's I really like that nod towards like fuck these kids, fuck this generation. They literally brought back the sheriff from the original movies from the 70s.
Uh,
It's I really appreciated it for what it is.
Neat.
Um, but we were talking podcasts. Again, yeah, make sure you check out Evolving with Corey Castle. The dude, he's awesome. But I feel like Corey, every time we have you on, you're not a huge, like varied podcast listener. You tend to listen to like one certain type. You're kind of drilled in on what you like, which is fine. Everybody likes what they like, and you could spend your free time with how you fucking wish. Um,
I've actually listened to a good amount of Joe Rogan this week. I checked out the one he shit, the one he did with Chris Stefano.
yes, yeah,
I,
that was fucking great, Chrissy. I love Chrissy D, and like I've been falling out of love with Rogan. I have to be very selective as to which one of his shows I want to listen to because Rogan is just like so all over the place.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I got into Rogan for that, like the fact that he had like crazy, amazing local comedians on almost on a regular basis. That's how I became friends with Joey Diaz. I'm literally
Mhm.
homies with Joey Diaz because
Right.
I discovered Joey on fucking Rogan, and uh, Rogan had him on all the time, and now we're buddies. But now Chrissy D's episode of Rogan was great.
And Neil Brennan too. I'm such a big fan of Neil Brennan, and I missed his podcast. He stopped doing it. He started going on tour, so he stopped recording his podcast. But I was a major fan of it, and it kind of as a fan of his podcast. His podcast was called How Neil Feel, and he would call the podcast fans feelers. And as a feeler, when I heard him talk about doing ayahuasca, and he's like, "Oh, and Bianca from the store," and he was because she was a waitress at the comedy store, but she was also his co-host on How Neil Feel. The fact that he didn't mention her as being his co-host on the podcast, just mentioned her as a girl from the store, which most likely was a more relevant reference to use at Joe Rogan because he's at the store and he knows these
Yeah.
things more than he knows listening to podcasts. Because I'd imagine he doesn't have a varied amount of podcasts that he listens to either.
Um, I love Neil Brennan. We had Zach Amico on like 3 weeks ago, and
I'm pretty sure
the
I watched that one.
the only show. Well, excuse me. Hold on a second. Renee's taking a bong rip.
For those of you not watching,
Um, Zach, he told a story about when he invited me to one of his comedy shows that he was just promoting or whatever, and it was to see Aziz Ansari, and because like he just happened to be in town in New York.
Mhm. This is very
And
much
then
sounding familiar. Yeah, I did
and
listen to
then
this.
and Aziz actually like backed out last minute, and it turned out it was because a competing comedy club told him like if you go and do a show there, you can't you'll never perform here ever again. Um, but that night I did get to see a Neil Brennan. And like having been a Chappelle show and a half baked fan since I was basically a teenager, that was huge for me. And like I did the fanboy thing when he walked off stage. I walked out of my seat to go get a fucking picture with him. So I got a picture with Neil Brennan. Like people might not recognize him, but like fuck you, that's a legend right there.
The way I look at it, man, I think what was always the important thing for me to listen to, and I think this is kind of like the pioneer days of what podcasting became. I used to constantly listen to the DVD commentary. So I listened to the DVD commentary on Chappelle Show, which was Neil and Dave. So seeing Neil in some of the sketches here and there, and then following him up, following his career later on, especially like the the connections that the guy has got, and
Yeah.
the
So like for Stephanie, like if you've ever watched, I'm not sure if you've watched. I'm not. That's Dan's friend, Stephanie. She's awesome. But if you've watched the entire Chappelle Show series, one of their biggest sketches was the black white supremacist, Clayton Bigsby, if I remember correctly, was his name. And then there was a scene where he rips off his KKK hood to reveal that he's black,
you
and
want to see
then
some real truth?
yeah,
You
you
want
want. God damn you for remembering the line. That's awesome.
Neil Brennan shouts out the line,
Yeah,
"Show us your
exactly.
face. We want to see your face."
Exactly. Yeah,
And
he's
then he
he's yelling. He's like, "I want to see your face," and then he rips the hood off, and then one of the KKK members' heads explodes. That's Neil Brennan, and yeah, the same person. We want to see your face. Like that's I will never forget that. And then I think he did like Apple commercials or something like that a couple
well,
years
he
ago.
did. I remember he in
It was like him and Chris Rock or something like that.
Half Baked. He was the guy who pulled the microphone, and he's like,
Was it I seen him? No,
he was like uh, shouting out the orders, and he's like, "Hey man, you just turn around, and say it to me. I'm fucking right here." And then he grabbed the mic from the. So I forget
yeah,
what the name was, but uh, Neil Brennan was the guy in Half Baked who was saying into the speaker to the guys in the kitchen what sandwiches to make.
yeah. He was also, but he also co-wrote um Half Baked.
Hmm?
Him, and like if you ever watch, and I implore you as people who watch the show, if you know, watch Dave Chappelle's interview on Inside the Actor Studio. James Lipton asked him, he goes, "Who wrote Half Baked?" And he goes, "Me, Purple Haze, and Neil Brennan." Or he might have said Neil Brennan, and Purple Haze. Like Dave, like it's something sad that I watch, but also empathize with because I'm going through it. I've been through it myself. Neil Brennan and what the fuck is this dude's name? Not shit. There's him and another comedian. I'll think of the name in a second. Um, they both are severely depressed, and unfortunately, um, it fucked up their comedy careers.
Mm.
Um, Neil also has a brother. Uh, I'm forgetting his name as well.
Kevin Brennan.
I think it is Kevin Brennan. Good job. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, Kevin Brennan. Um, I see myself in both of those dudes. Like Neil is super depressed. Kevin is super fucking angry and aggressive. Like he pisses off so many people. And yeah,
Isn't it fun? Do you think it might be fun as a comedian to like just watch people get upset?
Oh yeah.
Like,
No, that's
just like, how
unfortunately that's
amazing is it that I can just say words in an order that
dude,
bothers
it
you?
is my
Like, I'm
biggest
personally
fucking
attacking you by saying these words.
as somebody who calls himself a comedian, it is my biggest fucking flaw. Like the fact that I just sometimes I just can't fucking help myself. Actually, not even sometimes. Most of the times. Like it fucking sucks living this life that I fucking choose. And that's the other part is like I catch myself. I choose it. I choose to be that fucking obnoxious. And sometimes I hate myself for it. But it is what it is, isn't it? Like, what are you gonna fucking do?
So, I'm sorry, I'm failing to understand. Are you saying that you hate yourself because you like to upset people, and that's a flaw?
Yes.
Is
Maybe not that
uh,
it's not the reason I hate myself. There's a whole bunch of reasons I hate myself.
I don't I honestly, bro,
Again,
I
this is
think
why we don't have Corey on that often. Fuck. We're getting
perspective
so fucking
perspective
introspective.
wise.
I'm not trying to get introspective, bro.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a minute, okay? Like you're a New York kid, right?
Yeah.
You're a New York kid, and you decided to pick up. Most New York people stay where they are forever, and a lot of people in South Philly, there's a lot of very good people who do the same thing where they just stay exactly where they are forever. You got yourself up and you went, you know what? I'm gonna go somewhere else, and you went all the way across the country. You have to really give yourself credit for that, dude. You're
Do you know?
somebody who delivers on yourself.
Have I
Like you
told you the actual reason why I left because of that actually? Like I left New York because there was nothing holding me there, and the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah,
I
the
did not.
wanderlust.
What? Yeah, no. I just it was like I can feel myself getting grumpier. Like I can feel myself like becoming a bitter old New Yorker, and I did not like that person. I wanted
So
to,
nobody pick up a curmudgeon in New York and drop a curmudgeon off in Denver.
yeah, yeah, dude. Imagine like I feel like 10 years. So I'm going on actually October this year will make 3 years here. Like I feel like 3 more years of New York would maybe even landed me in like a jail sentence or something like that. Like
Mm.
I'm just getting angrier and grumpier and just nastier. And I this place, Denver, is like I've had my one of my best friends, Ralphie, come out and visit. He came out to see Tool a couple months ago,
Mhm.
and like, you know, it was very gray and very snowy couple for the first couple of days he was here, but then we had a clear day and while we were just driving from my apartment to somewhere else, he just like was like, you know what, Renee, I get it, I get it. Like, the views here alone, the and also just lack of traffic and shitty fucking grumpy people
So
like myself in New York. It's
the
like, and
air
we're not on
uh,
top of each other.
the air is cleaner.
No, it's not. It's
I mean,
actually not.
but isn't it
Actually,
like it's not
because
as polluted? Is what
it is. No,
is
it
it
is
polluted
actually.
really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's one tough thing is your
So
lungs have
fact check me on that
yeah,
because that
your lungs
you're
have to adjust to not only thin air,
the
but
altitude.
thin,
Yeah.
poor quality air. Because
Right.
remember, think about it, all that pollution rises. So yeah, we have very, very poor air quality. You can
Mhm.
buy fucking can't it's like fucking total recall. Yeah, yeah. Give them back their yeah. Come on, Cohagen. Come on. Like it's literally you can go to the fucking drugstore or like Walgreens or whatever and buy a can of fucking air. Granted, you don't really need it down here, but when you go up to the mountains, if you're gonna go skiing and shit, we're way above sea level. We're at sea level. Excuse me. We are a mile high above sea level in Denver. Like at the top seats in Colorado Rocky Stadium, Coors Field. Uh, you are a mile high above sea level. But then when you go up to the mountain, it's those numbers get fucking cranking, and you feel it. I went up twice already, and that shit kicked my fucking ass, dude. And I've been skiing since I was 5. That was tough. But yeah,
That's
the city is beautiful, man. Like it changes you. I don't know. I'm always trying to be the best I can be, and I might have learned a little bit of that from your black ass, but whatever. I'm not giving you full credit.
Like, you don't. You got to give some to yourself, bro. You got to absolutely give that credit
No,
to
and I
yourself.
appreciate you pointing that out, brother. I really do.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, you're a survivor, man. You really have come through. And the fact that you consistently stay exactly who you know you are. That's not something a lot of people do, especially when people pick up and move all the way across the country. They turn into a completely different person by the time they even notice it. They'll be like, "Oh crap! I'm saying different things. I'm dressing different ways." But you stay exactly the same,
I mean,
except for
I have.
except for maybe less angry now.
I was gonna say I have adapted. I have. Um, it was kind of funny. I was on the phone with my mom uh, last week, and I was just telling her what I was wearing. I was like, "Yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie and a pair of shorts." My mom literally goes, "You're so white." Like, hold on a second. Do you even realize how white you sound just saying that?
Well, I'm gonna say when you talked about being on skis since you were 5 or something, I was like, bro, that's the whitest shit.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, it's even funnier. That's why I bring it up. Is like, of all people to say that to me, my mom is my worst influence for whiteness. Like, I mean, I played hockey because of her. She like I liked watching hockey because her brother, my uncle, when he used to babysit me, dude, it was New York Rangers and Beavis and Butthead. He was the worst babysitter for like a 10-year-old ever. I got to
Bro,
watch I got to watch fist fights in hockey. And this was the 90s. Like this is before they even really like started regulating serious fucking like East Coast fist fights. Phillies Rangers, Bruins Rangers, like Penguins Rangers. Like, I mean, bro, we fucking went at it in the 90s. And then I literally to this day, I'll never forget when like it was like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm at my uncle's house. He's just babysitting me. And he goes, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I don't know." It's like, "You want to watch some TV?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." We didn't have cable in my house. He goes, "You want to watch Beavis and Butthead?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is." He goes, "You don't know what Beavis and Butthead is?" Dude, that dude ruined my life. I will never forget that. I'm 38 years old. I'm 38 years old. I was maybe 10 when that happened, bro.
do you know what's really funny? Um, I'm also 38, and when I was like 10, I had a cousin who was a big hockey fan. Who I would go over to my grandma's. My cousin would be there, and he would show me how to be a hockey goalie in the basement, and we would listen to the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack. I remember
Oh,
uh,
dude.
him teaching me how to be a goalie, and us listening to the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack from
I
from the
will
Beavis.
say before Beavis and Butthead though, did you have something that vulgar before that? Because I have one.
Uh,
I would just
Perhaps, perhaps.
Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I had a
that was the
my,
beginning.
my friend Justin. He still talks about when we were little kids. I had a Stimpy doll that you would squeeze it and it would go, and it had like a little tongue that would make the noise. But my
um,
friend Justin brings it up to me all the time. He's like, "Oh, I'll never forget your Stimpy doll." I'm like,
have
"Yeah, you'll
you
never let me forget that you'll never forget, buddy. I
have you
understand."
ever seen uncensored Ren and Stimpy like OG before like it was like Nickelodeon shit?
I feel like um it's sometimes that style of animation, like the real flashy stuff, it kind of gets me a little
So
epileptic and it gives me a headache. So I just kind of I
like
kind of
before
steer
it
away
was
from it.
hey, all right, buddy. Can you back up? You're not on the show anymore. All right, go. Go lay down. Um Before it was like Nickelodeon shit, it was like campy, like booby kind of like comedy where like like the plot line was the sexy neighbor next door with giant tits who was like out watering her lawn and got water all over her fucking white t-shirt kind of thing. It was I got dude, you know where I found it? In Iraq. In Iraq, like on the nice big main base, where we had like all the nice amenities, they had basically like a bootleg Blockbuster,
Oh
or
yeah.
I mean, or like Best Buy, for movies. Like you can
With
buy any
DVDs.
movie, but
Mhm.
they were bootlegs, and they were $3 for a movie. Or like how we're here, we would pay like $30-$40 a season for a season of a TV show. Over there, you can get an entire series for $40. So it'd be like they'll give you like 8 discs, 10 discs, like Simpsons. I think that was like 15 or 11 discs, and it was like $60 for 25 seasons at that time. Whenever 2009 was. uh, but yeah, like that's how I was like, wait a minute, I've seen Ren and Stimpy before, and now all of a sudden, like or Stimpy's got a giant boner, and while the fucking neighbors over here trying to do some gardening, he's like, "Oh, let me show you how to do some." I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" That was one of the craziest episodes. Yeah, I that's actually in my storage unit back in New York. Which I have to go home and
There's
clear out.
the raunchy Ren and Stimpy cartoons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like a giant, freaking foldables DVD case.
Oh, you know what I meant to remind you about? I don't know if you caught it or not, and I kind of doubt you did, but I gave you a shout out on I gave you a shout out on a recent episode I did with it was really funny because it had Luke Trovis. He's a comic, Luke Trovis, in New York. He used to
Huh.
be an intern in Gas Digital, and I was like, oh yeah, I was I was talking about how we did the Alf thing, how we watched Alf when you were on the
Are you still
podcast.
doing that? Wait, are you still doing that?
So I'm doing a variation of it. So I usually tell the story of it, and I said me and my friend Renee Encarnacion when he was on, we watched Alf, and then we decided we were going to start doing impressions. And I think one of the more recent episodes, oh, who the hell was that?
I'm busting out the.
Uh,
Hey
it was
Willie! Hey Willie!
oh hey Willie, hey
Hey
Willie.
Willie!
But I explained it to my recent guest that I had on was uh, uh, Ethan Essex. Ethan Essex. When I brought it up to him, I was like, I have to do this amend, amending of it because not a lot of people know what Alf is, and
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
also not a lot of younger people know what Jerry Springer is. So I have to
All
say
right, Lobo.
don't make this Jerry Springer reference and don't make this Alf reference. And I said that to Ethan, and he pulled out like a talking Alf doll, and he was like, it was like a in the packaging.
Nice.
He was
And the
like, look at this.
battery still worked, or
I, I think he made it talk, but I don't
all
remember.
right.
So we'll have to
I
go
figured
back
it'd be
and
so
listen.
old that batteries probably don't work on that thing anymore.
Probably not. Yeah, we may have to go back on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Corey Castle.
That's
It's
hilarious.
episode 270 with Ethan Essex, and
Nice.
I think the title of the episode is "Be Present, Dude."
Hey Willie. Stephanie, I don't know if you were around for when I did that fucking episode. I'm so dedicated for that one. I was actually pretty proud of that. Like,
Good, good.
oh.
I'm
um,
glad.
so go ahead, brother. Go.
I'm glad that you're happy to do it. I'm glad that you're proud of it, and I hope that anyone who does episodes of my podcast is proud of the final uh, production when it's out, and it's something. It's a weird thing is because it's like it seems like sometimes it's like an over ask to to have somebody share something that they're a part of in your thing because not everybody is comfortable enough with sharing every bit of it because they might be ashamed of some of the things they might have said or some of the silences they might have had
That
or
is tough. It is weird. It's weird, divulging so much of my life. Dude, I've cried on this show. I literally
Yeah.
have cried on this fucking show. But I mean, I've done other shows for about like 4 years now at this point. And then I just started my own with Dan about a year ago. Um, excuse me. So it is very, very weird being this vulnerable,
Yeah.
this publicly, but also at the same time, the show sucks, so nobody watches it. So I don't
Right,
feel bad.
it's like what are the stakes? What are the circumstances?
I'm like,
Nine out of nine people who listen to this,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
one person
dude,
gets
dude,
upset.
I
What
peaked at
ifs?
11.
Right.
No, oh no, Stephanie, who I've never met before, is gonna laugh at me for crying like a bitch. No, but I when people I tell people about my show, I'm like, hey, I gotta leave this situation because I gotta go do my podcast. They're like, oh, you have a podcast? Like, oh, it must be super popular. I'm like, actually, no, it's like maybe 11 to 12 people watch it, but it's therapy. This is this is a great outlet, I feel like.
Well, it's
And
also, I mean, I bring it up a lot, and I'm sure you've heard me say it. I probably said it to you many times, but the the fucking time capsule on this amazing
yeah,
moment in history, like who I was a year ago when maybe we had our first podcast sit down together versus who I am now might be completely different. Back then I was a server at TGI Fridays who was also working part-time at the gym, and now I work from home and I do this. So
coming
it's
in on
it's
therapy. Yeah. We
yeah,
all
that's my
yeah.
girlfriend. Look how pretty she is. Oh
Oh,
dang.
damn, dude. That's dude. Whoa, come on now. Jeez, hold
Yeah,
on.
dude.
Can I zoom in on that?
But
Thank you for
yeah,
tuning in, love. Appreciate you.
thank you. So, so I was saying like the fact that maybe like I can go back and listen to episodes that I did a couple years ago and be like, wow, listen to all the circumstances that uh, I might have just they, they might have been something that was so meaninglessly thrown away at that time. But then when I listen back to it, or if I had the opportunity to listen back to it one day, and I go, oh, okay, well, it seemed that this and that and this were really important to me at that time. And now, if I think about it, those things that were super important to me now they're so far away and so gone. An interesting to it's
Sorry, I didn't mean
interesting.
to throw you off.
Yeah, dude, I'm so distractible.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I was waiting for the perfect moment. I'm sorry. I could see it. Thank you, love.
so so yeah, it's really cool because like you come, let's say you come in a place that you're real sad and shit's real like you can't imagine life now that this very sad thing has happened, and then like you listen back to that and you're like, oh wow, like I that's something that's not incredibly sad to me anymore. And look at me now in episodes now, I'm laughing and smiling and encouraging people to live their best lives.
Yeah, it's still tough to like embrace the mentality of just like, oh yeah, people might like me for the dumb things I do. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
but who
you,
who people though? Who people though? You talk about what
who
the
people
11
though?
people.
Yo, but who people though? No,
Yeah, but what like what people? Like who are
I
they?
don't know. I don't
Who are
know.
those people? Like those people aren't
But
living
those
the
people
same life
also
you are.
live up here, dude. I mean, like it's those are the people that you and I and probably the fans of this fucking little show we do here. Those are the people we live with. Those are the people inside our heads. Am I wrong? Like we all live with those people inside our heads who, they're gonna control us no matter what we try to do. I mean, we can try and do our best. We can try and manifest our best on top of them, but ultimately, that's you are who you are, and this is why you love my black ass.
You know the saying, "Feel the fear and do it anyway."
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
like me.
old
That's me and roller coasters. By the way,
that's
I hate roller coasters, but I'll climb on the craziest one just because I'll do it.
like
I hate it. I've been shot at. I've been blown up. Like, or I've had bombs go off. Like, yeah, and like I look, why can't I face a roller coaster? I could face a more controlled situation like a roller coaster, but or I'm afraid of that. But meanwhile,
yeah, it's because
I've been in the
you're
uncontrolled.
surrendering,
Yeah, I've been in
and
the uncontrolled situation lifestyle of being in the military and deploying
the
overseas
you know how often do roller coaster accidents happen?
too
So that
often.
they happen so often, so little, so not often that you don't really hear about them that much. So you got to go, oh, it's going to be the time when I roll onto a roller coaster, that shit's going to derail and tragedy is going to happen. Do you remember that old Daniel Tosh bit when he talked about how the girl in the roller coaster like went kicked some guy's head off?
I don't
Like it
think
was
so.
one of those hangy leg roller coasters,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Like probably one of the drop shots thingy, whatever's the one that
like
launches you up and down, right? Yeah, yeah.
there's a story where like the girl's like legs kicked the dude's head off, and it like broke her leg, and she had to have a cast on. And you know the most painful part was like anytime you were in a cast, people come up to go, how'd you break your leg? She had to tell the story. I kicked some guy's head off. I,
I fucking ripped somebody's head. Son of a bitch. Fucking Tosh. Did you see what happened to him? He lost. Not what happened to him, but I mean, like, the reason he's not doing so much comedy anymore is because he's rich, doesn't need to do it, but he also lost his hair.
hmm, people lose their hair.
Yeah, yeah,
Eh.
but it's. I think he just was like, I don't need to do comedy anymore. He had that moment where it was like, I could
Well,
keep
wasn't
going,
that
but
Steve from Blue's Clues excuse as well?
was it? Oh, I thought he just raped
For
some kids. I'm
for
sorry.
no, for
Oh,
stepping away was because he was losing his hair and he didn't want to
oh.
like go bald in front of everybody's kids.
Yo, I know when he came back, I didn't even watch the video when he did his I miss you video. It was like a
Hmm.
year ago, or whatever.
Right, right.
Uh,
Hmm.
he did look like Moby though, right? He looked like
Right.
Moby with the fucking striped sweater. I'm like, hold on a second, is that Steve or is that Moby? Hold on a second.
So
Um, go go.
my, I was a guest on my friend Matt Bomboy, my old tag team partner Matt Bomboy's podcast called The Healing, and
Spell that the what?
The Healing, H E A
Healing.
L Healing, Healing,
Oh, nice.
Healing, the Healing podcast, and it's basically the premise of it is like laughing and having a good time is the best medicine. So we're just kind of laugh about stuff that you know might it might hurt somebody else or whatever.
Yeah.
But going into it, Matt was all like, start start getting ready a list to talk about all the stuff you've been watching, all the stuff that you love to watch. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, that's kind of the stuff that Dan and Renee talk about on their podcast. And then I did his podcast, and we wound up never talking about the stuff that I like to watch. So I've got it in the barrel. I've got it in
Oh, dude.
the hose is kinked, and I'm
That's
ready to.
perfect because I did a podcast like 2 weeks ago, and it required voting at the end, and it required me watching shit. So
Mhm.
we can get into my last podcast mention and something I've had to watch and the very funny turn of events. But yeah, what did you watch?
I've been watching. I've been watching Barry on HBO. The
Oh,
the new
I
season.
gotta catch up on that. I gotta
The
catch
new season,
up on that. No,
so
no, no.
good. It's
I love Barry, dude. Fucking Henry Winkler as the fucking acting coach.
so
Fucking
good.
teacher. Oh, I love Barry so much. I'm so happy to know that you watched that, so I can talk about it with you when I fucking finish it. Oh my god.
It it's so good, and it's
I
like
bet you. I bet it's good. I bet it's good. This is like for those of you guys who have not seen this. Maybe like this is a show that kind of came out mid-pandemic, and it came out. I feel like in the best time. When I watched it. It like I watched it. The entire season. I think it was like they're on 2 seasons now, right? Or the new one's
I
three,
think
right? Season three. Yeah,
yep.
the new one's
Uh-huh.
season three. So like they came out perfectly spaced. It was so fucking good. Um, Long story short, Bill Hader from SNL is former Marine or a Marine, excuse me,
Yeah,
who
he's
is
no more.
now a hitman,
Mhm.
and he gets distracted while on a mission and ends up taking an acting class and just has a life revelation. Like
It's like he's hired to kill another actor who's in the class, so he starts taking the class and falls in love with acting. So
yeah,
he's trying to be a famous actor and a non-famous hitman. It's just
yeah.
the
I was
wildest
trying
thing.
to be a little less blunt, but yeah, yeah, it is one of the greatest shows. Like since it made me sad. Like uh, Last Man on Earth ended right.
Mhm.
I feel like right when Barry started. Wish we had more Last Man on Earth, but then Barry came around, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go hang out with Barry now." It was like, and then in that same breath, uh, Brooklyn Nine got canceled, but they got
Mhm.
picked up by NBC.
NBC.
They were both Fox shows who got fucked over during the Ronies, and
Mhm.
then the petitions went out, and Brooklyn Nine got so many signatures, and they were like, "Oh, we're bringing back Brooklyn Nine on NBC," and then everybody was like, "Yeah, but what about Last Man on Earth?" Did you see Last Man on Earth?
I didn't follow it every bit, but
Oh,
I watched a good amount of it.
dude, that was such a great show. That was a great fucking show. Sorry, go on. I was just saying.
uh, on Showtime.
Barry.
Actually,
H is it
no,
Barry?
and I was switching to talk about a different show.
Sweet. Yep.
On Showtime there exists a show that I've been watching called I Love That for You, and it stars Vanessa Bayer and Molly Shannon,
Oh,
and
oh,
they are both on-air television personalities for the Home Shopping Network QVC, and
oh,
they're like trying to sell like bracelets and dumb knickknack stuff, and the one girl like lied about having cancer because they were going to fire her, and then she's
oh,
got to like
God.
how to walk backwards on this lie. it's
Oh,
it's
God.
it's a fun show, and it's maybe 5 episodes in right now on Showtime.
Nice.
uh,
Random question before we go on. Have you ever seen the movie Heavy Metal?
yeah, dude.
I had the
I,
comic books as well.
I saw heavy metal when I was like in seventh grade, and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
I don't really remember it too much, but I
dude.
remember
No, but I'm just
them
curious
spoofing it
because
on South Park.
yes,
My
yes,
door, my
that was on
door's
the
fucking there.
that was on the episode where everybody's hooked on the cheese.
Right,
All right,
right, right.
the fucking cat piss. Everybody's cheesing,
Everybody's
man,
cheesing.
cheesing. Um, no, that was God damn it. I forgot my transition because I'm cracking up over that.
So
No, but
heavy metal.
no, yeah, but no, but Dan's actually never seen it. He had like I tried to make a reference to it last week,
Oh,
and no,
I wouldn't understand a goddamn reference that you made, but I definitely have seen it. But I definitely was in seventh grade,
well, no,
like
but I
the
mean, like
the age anyone should have been when they saw that movie.
yeah, reference, and I pulled up pictures and shit for him. Like I showed him comic book covers and whatnot.
Mhm.
But no, he had no fucking clue. Um,
It's
let's
not
wrap it
good.
up with
It's
yeah,
not good.
heavy metal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you. It's part of a generation. It's part of a certain era, man. Um, it's yeah. It's really it really appeals to a certain nerdy metalhead of that from that era. I get it.
I guess it just did I didn't connect with it because like it wasn't positive enough. It
I
wasn't like
discovered it
light.
as like some real chauvinistic, like, oh, I found this under like an uncle's mattress kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um,
It's kind of like when you get a VHS tape of barbed wire and fast forward through the whole movie just to catch her dancing in the end credits, and you're like, yeah,
yeah, I know. For me, that was going to be
that's gonna be just like watching heavy metal for you when you're a kid.
fair enough. I don't know. But I was also a comic book kid. Were you a comic book kid? No.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's where
bro.
we differ. Like
Well,
I
well,
was a big comic book kid, and discovering this style of comic, it was very very interesting to me. And it again came out while I was in my prepubescent phase, or whatever you
mhm,
want to call that. Um, but but yeah, uh, Corey,
Renee,
have you been a fatty lately?
have I been a fatty lately? Yes, I've been
What
a big fat fatty lately.
what's been the some of the most yummy things you've consumed lately? Because that's how we usually wrap up the show with the food segment. Because did you just fart? We
That
oh,
was my face.
okay, yeah, you got a fart face, so I understand.
Yeah.
All right, all right. We'd like to talk about food we have either purchased and that we've consumed, or I'm sorry, that we've purchased and consumed, and or food that we have cooked and consumed. Um, I have not been cooking lately. Besides Saturday, I did some grilling. But what about you, Corey? And then I'll talk about my shit.
Dude, yesterday my roommate Chris made these like Philly cheesesteak sliders on like a pretzel bun, little pretzel buns, like a little slider bun. It
Oh,
was
nice.
it had no business being as good as it was.
But was it like actual like shaved steaks or like just steakums?
I don't know, bro. They were great. I didn't look at what he was doing. And I'm also not as much of a foodie as y'all are.
Oh,
I can't get into the specifics of it. For me, food is just like, okay, I'm hungry now. Just shove it in me, and I'm out of here. Uh,
oh,
I
all
gotta
right.
move. Whoa, oh,
This guy's got a girlfriend. Oh, take it easy.
just
Nice. Oh,
shove it in me, and I'm out of here.
oh, just
Uh,
put it in him and fucking I'm gone. I'm out of here. Just put that meat inside of me and I'm gonna be out of here.
yeah, I mean, I didn't have like I don't. I guess there's like a part of me that never developed this like desire, and I think it goes into talking about food, sports, the weather, like shit, like all that to me is like some boring nerd shit. Like it's all like, oh, okay, we're gonna talk about the numbers. We're gonna add together these ingredients, and then there's gonna multiply that by this teaspoon. And shut up, just eat what you got to eat, and
So wait,
stop
hold
telling me
on a
about.
second. Corey, you are uh someone who I feel like is in shape and whatnot. So are you telling me so what do you eat on a regular basis?
Oh, I'll eat. Recently, I mean, just eating like shit from Wawa, dude. Like I just
Dude,
get,
you just sandwich guy? You just
yeah, just sandwiches from
just
Wawa
got
is all
fucking
I've been eating.
hoagies, grinders and shit and just
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the
just only been eating like hoagies and sandwiches from Wawa, and then sometimes when I'm with when I'm with Alyssa, she cooks stuff, and then I eat that, and it's good.
I go to the supermarket. I get a roto and like some bread and shit, and you're over here just. Lolo, get the fuck out of there. Sorry. And
Whoa, you get the fuck out of there.
he's in the kitchen. Don't want to licking up scraps. But
What's a roto?
rotisserie chicken.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
know Roto, motherfucker? Come on now.
I've never heard it abbreviated that way.
Dude, Rotos. Come on, Roto. Roto gang.
Hello, Roto.
I love Roto. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I like your chick, dude. She's funny.
Yeah, she's awesome.
On that note, let's just get the fuck out of here because we're pushing the Rotos. Corey, one thing I ask of all of my friends, my followers, my guests is besides like, subscribe, follow, all that shit. Dude, I thought Roto was short for the title.
See, it must be
Roto!
must be
Sono
in your
piccino
circles.
roto, sono un piccino roto, come stai? Roto? E por favore. Um, the one thing I ask of everybody, again, like, subscribe, share with a fucking retarded friend who might like my retarded shit. Tell somebody you love them. Tomorrow is never promised. It really sucks that Dan, my co-host, and a lot of people in my little circle have not chosen the best decisions in life. Have not chosen the best uh, road path, road less traveled down life. So
Go with God, brah.
yeah. So if I can ask you one really big favor. Tell somebody you love them tomorrow or today. Excuse me, today, because you
It's
might
not.
not see them. You
It's
might
not.
not see them
It's
tomorrow.
not
Yeah,
asking too much.
yeah,
It's not asking too much at all. I
yeah.
I have to say, man, it's important to me. It truly is to make sure that the people I love not only know I love them, but know that there's individual things about like characteristics about them that make them special to me and like I was just on the phone with my mom for a half hour talking about my childhood and how much she really sacrificed and she taught me through her actions. She taught me about not having time to get upset and lose yourself in being upset because there's more life to live. There's so much show that needs to go on.
Yeah.
And I thanked my mom earlier today and talked to her about how much I love that she did that for me and about how she was talking about how when we were kids there was programs set up because we were underprivileged. There was programs set up that like would help my mom pay for us to go to camp, and we got to have those kind of experiences. And now I just want to kind of pay some of that back, and that's kind of what I'm doing with my current job. I'm kind of trying to get inside of paying that back to the underprivileged people who that was the karma that we received. So I want to receive that. Uh, I want to disperse that karma
Corey,
onto others
make sure
through
you,
planting.
let's wrap it up and give, like, plug what you're talking about. Plug what you're talking about, and I'll plug what I'm talking about. We'll get out of here.
I'm not really going to plug my job.
But I'm
I'm working.
saying, dude, if you're doing
Yeah.
good work, fucking get it out there. I mean, we got 5 listeners, so let's.
So currently I've been doing this thing where I'm working for the state of Virginia's mortgage relief program, people who got behind on their mortgages due to the COVID pandemic, and this is a federal grant that was set up through our company to have applicants have access to that funds that would relieve them of the debt that they accrued through
Oh
the
yeah.
pandemic. So that's what I'm currently doing for my living.
How can they
But
find out? How can they find you on that?
oh, that's I mean
Or
only Virginia residents would
oh my,
be would be eligible for it, but it's VirginiaMortgageRelief.com.
Sweet.
And
I mean,
and
maybe if we get one person on there, I'm proud of it. You know. What else, brother?
um, I'm 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 constantly putting out new episodes of my podcast. I'm scheduling new guests as often as possible. I have a couple cool things coming up. I just recorded one last night that I put up on my YouTube, but it'll be on Apple and Spotify and Anchor uh, on Monday. So every Monday at 12 o'clock, a new episode of my podcast, Evolving with Corey Castle, drops on Spotify and Anchor and Pandora and iHeartRadio and
Nice.
wherever you find and subscribe to quality
Stitcher.
podcasts. Yeah,
I follow
anywhere.
you on Stitcher. That's how I follow them. I've been on Stitcher for like 10 years now. So like Stitcher, I'm holding true to that one. Anything else?
Roots, bro. Um,
Oh shit. Are we getting the food? Oh, that's right. I forgot the food. Don't
you,
even need to
you
talk
said
about
a
it.
roto.
Yeah,
Hello,
and
roto.
I also cooked some barbecue, but also whatever.
Well,
um,
also, I mean, I want to say it here because I mean, dude, happy Memorial Day. That's important. Having barbecue. I had a barbecue with my family on Memorial Day. Uh, I visited my friend James, who works at Sky King Fireworks in Morrisville, PA. Shout out to James. Go check out that shop if you're in the market for some fireworks.
oh
Uh,
yeah, oh
and
yeah.
uh, and what else has been up, man? Can I want to
Yeah, no,
hey,
I just
follow.
remembered. I was like, oh shit, I wanted to talk about the food that I cooked. I cooked some grilled chicken. It was fucking
Do
good.
it. Do
Yeah,
it.
no. That was it. I did. I'm also that kind of person where like I take my corn very seriously. Like, all right, I'll grill some corn, but no. We're not just doing nothing. You know, like I put that Irish, curry butter in there. Then I put in some spicy chili lime spice in there. But yeah, no, it was fucking delicious. Uh, but yeah, I want to. What was the last thing I wanted to bring up? Um, yeah, I guess we'll talk about next week. Zach and Miko's movie, man, or the new Trauma movie. Say Shakespeare shitstorm. It is Trauma's version of the Shakespeare's The Tempest, and holy shit, man.
Well, they have really kind of a Shakespeare theme going on too sometimes
Yeah,
now with
they did
the
Romeo and
Romeo and
Juliet. Yeah,
Juliet. Hmm.
yeah. Like they. I mean, it's uh, Monsieur Kaufman. Lloyd is dude's a maniac, and I respect his style. Yeah, God damn, the dude knows what he's doing, and I watched it with a couple of very very close homies this weekend. And there was five of us, and by the end of the movie, there was only two of us.
Yeah, the movie walked the room.
Yep, yeah. I haven't told Zach yet. I literally I typed out the message, and I didn't press send. But yeah, he walked. They walked. They walked everybody.
Oh,
And
bro, I meant to ask you, did you watch the new Norm special on Netflix?
no, nope, no. No,
Go check
I'm not
that
ready for
out.
that. I'm not ready for
It's
that.
it's still
So,
an awesome.
for everybody who knows, in case anybody doesn't know what he's talking about, Norm Macdonald Norm Macdonald passed away a couple months ago, due to cancer. He didn't reveal to almost anybody except some very close friends and family members. And when he realized he was going to go down, uh, during the pandemic when he couldn't record it at the at the comedy store, he decided to, or not at the comedy store live. He decided to just record it, and
Mhm.
I'm not ready for that, dude. That Norm Macdonald is one of my fucking absolute favorites, so I'm not ready for that. I know it. I know it's out there. Um, I guess on this note as well, let's mention Stavros. Stavi just released his shit, and that was great. I did watch Stavros's. You know Stavi, yeah. Stavros Halkias is a great comedian. He's from the East Coast. He's from New York, if I remember correctly, and he's been doing the rounds on all the major podcasts over the past couple of weeks.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I want to watch. I have to prepare myself. I'm that kind of person where like I if I try to watch some shit, especially fucking Norm, man, Norm was such a legend. I'm not. I don't want to see that yet. I'm gonna have to be mentally prepared to see Norm's new special.
I,
Give me your opinion on. I'm sorry.
it's painful, dude. It really is. It's not only painful for the fact that it's somebody who's so beloved, but it's painful for the fact that
Can you see it?
it's it's pandemic comedy.
Yeah,
So stand up comedy during the pandemic, just virtual comedy, and no one's there laughing. Like that sucks. But
yeah,
the premises, the jokes are classic Norm. Everything is so classically Norm. You can't ignore it, and you can't dis. You know what I mean? You can't like deny it in any way. You cannot deny that that is good comedy. You can't deny that those are really solid premises.
um, that sucks. I'm sorry. I don't mean it like that. I mean like it sucks that
That
that's
he
the
didn't.
ending. That's the ending of a legend, right? John, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it might have been fun to have that showing on a room in a theater and have everybody watching it and laughing, so that you get the instead of it the just that like dead no reaction silence that there
Yeah,
is
the one clip I
during.
think they dropped like a little preview, or Netflix dropped a little clip, as for promotion, and the little thing that I saw I did not like. So I'm I want to see it, but I'm not looking forward to it if that says anything.
Do you remember a couple years after Mitch Hedberg died, they put a an album out that was all stuff that he was trying on the road but didn't do on a special yet?
I'm not sure.
So the album, if you go on Spotify, the album's called "Do You Believe in Gosh,"
Yeah,
but it's got some solid premises in it, and it's something that most people probably slept on, but it's something worth checking out.
yeah. I really hate that it's a common thing where some of our best and famous comedians end on these notes. Um, George Carlin was my most like notorious one that I can think of off the top of my head. Where his last album was, I kind of like it when a lot of people die. Do you know when the release date of that was going to be?
Was it 9/11? Yeah.
Yep.
That's not a good title for something out coming out the day that a lot of people die.
Yeah.
Kind
But
of
in the
kind of
same breath, I'm like, oh, that was so great, though.
he's so he's
God
so
damn it!
prophetic. It's
God
so
damn it! God damn it! God
exactly
damn it,
who the guy
George!
is.
Why, damn it? Why, George? I don't know,
Yeah. Also, can I plug another thing real quick?
dude. Send
If
it because we're getting the fuck out of here.
if anybody has listened to this because they're a wrestling fan and is disappointed now that you're listening to this podcast and you've not heard
Oh
me talk
shit,
about pro wrestling
we gotta
once,
talk about wrestling too.
uh,
Sorry.
go check out DCW Overdrive TV on YouTube, youtube.com/DCW Overdrive TV. You'll see I'm the current DCW No Limit champion.
No
Uh,
way.
Go check out DCWProWrestling.com for tickets and information for upcoming live events that we've got. And man, I'm having a good time with that. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm
Corey, you
excited.
wrestle?
Yes.
No way. Since when?
It was I think since when George W. Bush was in office.
Since WW? WW?
Since George W. George W. I think it might have probably been during the Clinton administration when I started wrestling.
This is great. I said we were exiting the fucking broadcast like 14 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, totally.
But Corey,
Renee,
I love you.
love you, bro, for sure.
You're a good fucking dude. I'm super glad I fucking met you. I can't wait to meet you in fucking person finally, eventually.
Yeah, that'll
I
happen.
assume you're gonna be so much more handsomer in person. I hate it. Just the notion ahead of time.
You're gonna be disappointed. It's funny when people
Look at
build
this
me up
guy.
in their heads. So when people build me up in their head and then they meet me, they're like, "Man, I thought you'd be bigger," or like, "Man, I thought," like, everybody always has some. I'm like, "Are you trying to come at me?
You
Are you
see
trying
this
to
guy?
hurt my feelings?"
You see this guy? Number one fuck you guy. He comes here with the wee woo, and he can be fuck you.